Welcome to Rampage. This is going to be a very short review because I was asked by one of the subscribers, please do a prediction, and I'll explain it when I do it. Let's just get through this. Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson. Now, I didn't know how far they were going to go with this and how they were going to make this interesting, which it was. Lee Johnson played cat and mouse with Malachi Black. He was acting either afraid, anxious, or terrified. One of the three you pick. I say all of them. When it ended, which it was a little too much offense, but it was understandable for the end. At first, I'll admit that. I wasn't fun to see Lee Johnson get so much offense in. It wasn't a lot, but it was more than what I wanted, at least into the end. Because once Malachi Black whooped his ass, he went and got a chair. The ref is telling him, don't you do it. Don't do it. But he doesn't. He actually hands it. He throws it to him. Well, slides it to him, said, use it. Turns his back. You can see the shot in my face. That was interesting. And instead of Lee Johnson, who was already concussed as in story, barely could stand, Malachi Black gives him a black mask and ends his day. Done. And then we get Dustin coming out and pretty much saying afterward with a very great quality of a Mark Henry interview, saying pretty much, Malachi Black, you're going to pay for what you've done. I want to see you next week. These are not his words. It's just the way I interpret it. And I interpreted that he is ready for the darkness because he has been born with darkness since 50 years. He hasn't been wrestling that long. He's been doing it 30. How can he know darkness? How can that nut job know darkness? He's only 51 to 52 years old. How the hell is he supposed to know darkness at 1 or 2 years old? He wasn't blind. But that's what we're getting next week after this All Out. Now, Miro had his segment. It was okay. Then Eddie came out and made it much better. Look, I don't hate Miro the Redeemer. If anyone has seen my Gump report on Leia Hurst, I may leave a connection below. Look at what I say about what Miro and CJ, his wife, I believe her name is CJ. I haven't seen her so long. I forgot her name. Delana would be involved in this. This is just what I feel what was going to happen with Leia Hurst if they booked it the way I did it. But Miro is Miro. He makes it very clear, I am the Redeemer. I am the Joan of Arc of professional wrestling. I said Joan of Arc. I said Joan of Arc. That's what he is. He believes himself the only one that can understand God because he can only hear God. Just like Joan of Arc. Now, sooner or later, he will be toppled. Now, will it be Eddie Kingston? You will find out in my special, which is after this. Kingston spoke very well. He made it very clear that this is not my God, but let's say it was my God. I was sent by your God to defeat you. And Miro saying, what are you doing? You better not come any closer or you will end up hurt. You will end up dead. You will end up gone. And he says, oh, really? You want to end up something? End up holding these nuts. Went in and had a bit of a fight, and then there was a little bit of a struggle, and then the Achilles heel of a Miro landed on his head. Did Eddie Kingston give him? Quick end. This is one I wish they didn't do. Statlander versus Hater versus, well, Hater and Rebel. The reason I'm botching this is I don't know why they went there. I can understand one reason why. It's because they've done almost nothing with Statlander on Dynamite. Look, Dark and Elevation's one thing, but Dynamite and Rampage is another. Let's make a difference. Let's make it clear. Rampage and Dynamite. Elevation and Dark. This is where people see it. No matter how much you want to say it, you can't. You're going to admit that Dark and Elevation's here because only the super hardcore watch it. And the majority of people, like regular fans, some are hardcore, some, not all, some hardcore, and the majority of casual fans will only be here. Dynamite and Rampage. So whatever she's been doing here means nothing. Particularly, they don't really talk about it. This is why we're saying with Rampage, they need to start trying to figure out how they want to set Rampage, which is here with Dynamite, to go here, so the people that are here that are ready to go here for a while and work here. This is where they need to make Rampage a interim between the indies, which is their YouTube channels, to here, where they get to be seen sporadically and have light feuds here, or at least talked about here, and then go to Dynamite. That is what they need to do. That's what it's for. But they haven't really done that yet. It's still very new, so I hope in the next couple months they'll get there. I'm not even going to talk about the match. I didn't expect Statlander to lose. She didn't. She won it. And there was a little bit of Red Velvet backing her up when she was in trouble. But it doesn't really mean anything. At least until the match happens. Now, final match. Allen versus Garcia. Let's make this clear. We knew Allen was not going to lose, and he didn't lose. He won. But we did know, and I'm sure you thought it yourself, there had to be some type of spectacle that's going to bring out CM Punk, which he was on commentary with Chris Jericho. I believe it was Chris Jericho, him, Excalibur, and it wasn't Mark Henry. He was in the back, and there was no Tony Schiavone either. But this is what we got, which was okay. But here's the question. Where are they going? Because after this is over and CM Punk went down to maybe interact, you got the Darby Allin showing, I don't need your damn ass. Particularly what happened on Dynamite. I didn't say it. That he had an interview, he had a video package on Dynamite talking about how he was, if he was around the time of CM Punk when he was 15, he would be his favorite wrestler. He's saying, well, I had no problem with that until you wanted to face me, and now you're going to pay for that. You're going to learn a lesson. Pretty much that's what he was trying to state in the video package that he had this Wednesday. This show was middle of the road. It wasn't incredibly big, and I know I'm missing some stuff. There's going to be something I'm missing, and I'm sure I'm missing something. But this was not meant to do more than what Dynamite did, and that's going to be an issue eventually. They have to figure a way to make it mean something for the ones who are going to be doing dark matches and other stuff on either Dynamite or the pay-per-views, because this adds a bit to dark from Dynamite, but it doesn't exceed it, which is not supposed to. But this is just me. I've finished. 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Okay, now this is the part that needs to be done. Here is the prediction. Now, guys, if you want to know why I don't do prediction, it's very simple, very easy. The reason I stopped doing it was because the WWE was pissing me off beyond no end. I couldn't take it. I was still doing the shows. I was still doing SmackDown. I had stopped doing Raw, and I was doing the prediction for both of them with their pay-per-views. I couldn't stand it anymore. And next to that, not many people were watching anyway. The numbers were just so low, I just quit doing it. Because there was no point. Almost nobody was watching it, and I didn't like it. So that's the reason why I stopped. But one of my subscribers, he's asked me now 3 times to do it. So this is for him. Hopefully he'll like it. I hope so. I hope you like it. Okay. We're going to talk about buy-in, and we're going to talk about All Out. Buy-in. There might be 2 matches on the card. I think 2. The first one will be the buy-in Casino Battle Royal for the women. I do believe that's going to happen. And who do I believe is going to win, and who do I believe is going to show up? Now, there's going to probably be some people from NWA that's going to show up. I do believe there are going to be a couple of people, and a couple of people from Impact as well. But the one I think that might show up, there might be another one that might be a release from WWE, but I think Ruby Soho is going to be there. I do believe that she is capable of wrestling. I think her non-compete clause has already ended, and she can wrestle now. Now, I don't know if Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, the former Iconics, will go there. Honestly, I hope Billie Kay does not show up, Jennifer, because she had an interview with Chris Van Vliet with Peyton Royce, and she said she was never right without Peyton Royce by her side. She just something was off. She was not herself, even though she was doing great work on SmackDown in her own words, and some people didn't mind it. I know JD didn't like it, and I know the Sleg Daddy liked it, and I said it was entertaining to a certain extent. She was being entertaining. But I could see there was something off, flat out 100%. And now, even though it's been a couple of months now, she's been away from wrestling because of the non-compete clause. I'd rather not see her go back for at least a good half a year. I know she needs money. Everyone deserves money, everybody. But I'd rather see her get good in the head. Because if she was not right and she got depressed, going back to work does not mean it's going to get better. Flat out, let's be honest. Who do I think is going to win? Either Anna Jade of Darkwater, Jade Cargill, and I don't think Soho is going to win. She's just coming in. I don't think it's going to happen. But Diamante might, because of how she did so well in the Empower, the way she worked, it made me think that she might be near the end, along with Jade Cargill, along with Anna Jade, and maybe Ruby Soho. That's just me, you guys down below. The second match, now either it's going to be here, which I don't know why they will put it there, or it will be on the main card. My guess it'll be here. Will be the 10-man tag. I don't know who's going to win, and I don't know who's in it. I just know there's supposed to be a 10-man tag. So it could be on the buy-in. Now, let's go to the main card of All Out. How are they going to open up the match? No, not open up the match. I'm kind of torn here. It's either going to be the TNT title match of Miro and Eddie Kingston, or it could be Jon Moxley versus Kojima. There's no titles on the line. It's just him going up against him. My guess is it might be the TNT title when they open. That's what I think is going to happen. I really do believe Miro and Eddie Kingston are going to open the show. Now, who do I believe is going to win that match? I'm kind of torn, particularly that I don't know what's about to happen. I think CJ, his wife, she might be able to participate in AEW now. I think, like Ruby Soho. I think the former Lana might show up with her husband Miro and come out to the crowd, and they're going to cheer her. There's no way no one's going to cheer a former Lana who's got the boobs, the ass, the legs, and the voice that shrills. Not that she will give Vicky Guerrero for a run for money, but she could be show when she wants to be. I do believe she might show up if her rematch, well, I keep saying rematch clause, her non-compete clause is done. That's just what I'm thinking. Who do I think will win? Honestly, Miro looks like he should win. Obviously, I don't think they should end him because the Redeemer is doing so well. That stick is doing good. But then I think about Eddie Kingston. And the way he's been booked, even though he hasn't been up in front, he worked with Moxley. He's done some things. Yeah, that situation with that pay-per-view where he tried to save Mox and then we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that pay-per-view. It sucked at the end. But I do believe this might be the best time to give him the title. But do I believe he'll get it? No. He's not going to get it. It's going to be Miro. That's number one. Now, number two. This could be Paul White versus QT Marshall. That would be the second match of the card. Now, here's the thing. No one's really going to care that much about this match, so it's the second on the card, so it can be done very quickly, and it could be a filler. To give Paul White something, to give QT Marshall something, my guess if it's not here, it's going to be the fourth match of the card itself, not the second, but I'm putting it fourth. Do I believe QT Marshall's going to win? If Paul White is not going to do a lot of wrestling, I do believe he'll win this, and they will keep up their feud, so he'll have maybe a couple of more matches, but eventually he'll stop and he'll go back. Well, he's going to still do Elevation. He's going to still do it, and I do believe that. He's not going to stop doing Elevation, even when he wrestles. But I don't believe he's going to do a lot of matches, so I do believe that if he doesn't win, that's going to perpetuate the match. But I think they'll finish it here, and Paul will get his win, and he'll probably back up Tony Schiavone's son and maybe tag with him. And that will be in a tag team between him and Tony's son. And that's what I think they're going to go for. Because if he loses here, that's going to perpetuate the feud with QT Marshall, where it doesn't really make much sense because they're trying to do something with Tony Schiavone's son. They're mentioning him, even though he still needed to learn to wrestle. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, the third match, I do believe might be Britt Baker versus Statlander, which story-wise is the weakest story of them all, due to the fact they've done almost nothing with Statlander. Yes, she's been with Best Friends, and having since she's done nothing on Dynamite, and very little has been done on Rampage. She couldn't show anything for her on Rampage because it's only the 4th show. So there's almost nothing of her on Dynamite. Very little on Rampage because it just started. And no matter what's going on in Elevation and Dark, not everyone is going to watch it. Look, this is Dynamite. Rampage is here. This is Elevation and Dark. Let's be honest. The super hardcores will go here, to this spot. But the casuals and other wrestling fans that come in, check something out and leave, they're going to go here and they're going to go here. Very little here. And I'm not taking anything away from Elevation or Dark, but let's be honest. It's on YouTube. You can see it anytime. These two, they come on once a week. Now, I'm just saying. So who do I believe is going to win? It's going to be Britt Baker. There's no way. You're going to have Rebel is going to be there. Hager is going to be there. I just don't see her winning. And if she does win, why? Why would they just let her have the title now? When they haven't done anything with her. They haven't let her have much wrestling on the main show. She hasn't really spoken much on the main show. They haven't made it important about her. So I just don't see it. That's number 4. I'm about to go like this. Number 4. Okay. Number 5. I do believe Mox and Kojima will be the 5th. I believe that's number 5. The 5th match on the card. Now, this could be on buy-in. This could be on the buy-in show. But I do believe it might be here as the 5th match of the night. And I believe they'll do it because they want to make Kojima mean something. Because he is from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is important. And Mox is still relevant in the company. Now, here's the thing. Who do I believe is going to win? If Kojima gets signed, because he could get signed, there might be a reason for him being here. If he gets signed, he's going to win. Because then he can continue working with Moxley, because he's worked with Moxley before. He at least understands, Moxley and him can understand, and they could have a feud, counting if Kojima wins. But if he doesn't sign, Mox is going to win. Flat out, no problem. That's it. He's going to do a one and done. Then he may head over to NWA, no, not NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling or New Japan Strong, because I haven't seen it yet. Tell me if you want me to do a review of New Japan Strong the next episode, because I think I missed 2 of them right now. I missed the last one because there was so much going on. And I might be able to catch this one, but you guys tell me below if you want me to do New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, an episode of that. But I do believe he's going to win it, Moxley, if Kojima is not signed. Now, number 6. We are going to have the steel cage match. It's got to be done. Unless, no wait, let me take that back. This is a hard one, guys. Because you got Moxley already done with Kojima. But then you're going to have MJF and... this is so hard. MJF and Jericho. You still got Kenny Omega and Christian, as well as you still have to do Darby Allin and CM Punk along with the steel cage. Now, I really do believe they're going to do the steel cage next. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to do the steel cage next. So that's going to be the Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers for the AEW tag titles. Now, maybe they might do MJF and Jericho the 5th match. I just don't see it. It would make no sense to do that now because that's going to be a very heartfelt match that has a lot of drama in it. And it can't be 5, so this has got to be 5. Now, I do believe there's going to be some shenanigans, but I don't see the Lucha Brothers winning. But I do believe they should win because they are dealing with Andrade El Ilios along with Chavo Guerrero. If they win, then Andrade El Ilios will be able to start messing with them so they could start doing a feud that way with him and Chavo, so there could be something very interesting there. Because as it stands, Andrade is really not doing anything with Chavo. This makes the best sense. Drop the titles to the Bucks for now. Do a 3-month or 2-month, I say 3-month, storyline with Andrade trying to get those tag titles from the Lucha Brothers, and that'll be good. That's what I think should happen. But do I think it's going to happen? No, I think the Bucks will win. Now, here's where things get interesting. We will have Daniel Bryan show up. My guess is the 6th match afterward, Daniel Bryan will show up. Now, it could be when... Well, here's just kind of 2 things. 1, it could be when the match between CM Punk and Darby Allin happens, or he could come out by himself. I think he might come out by himself. So the 7th thing that will show up, because I think that's it. I already forgot. I think it's either the 6th or the 7th one. We're in position right now. I do believe that Bryan Danielson will show up by himself without any kind of drama bringing him out. I think he'll just show up. And he'll probably say something. He'll probably say, I am honored to be All Elite. I'm glad to be part of something special. I'm glad to be part of here. And then he's going to go bye-bye. And then we're going to have the next match, which probably will be CM Punk versus Darby Allin. It will be the 3rd to the end of the show. I don't see it closing. I just don't. I don't see it closing. I can't see CM Punk closing the show with Darby Allin. Not because I don't think he's capable of it. I know he is capable. And this is why I kind of wish this had been on a separate pay-per-view, but with so much there's no way you're going to have CM Punk just close the show. You can't with MJF and Jericho and Kenny and Christian. You just can't. So this is what you're going to get. Now, who do I believe is going to win this match? Honestly, it's either one of 2 things. Either CM Punk is going to win, and there's going to be some type of interference from 2.0 and Garcia, or there's going to be a DQ. Now, I know that doesn't sound right. It should not be a DQ, and I know that Darby Allin is not going to get hurt by this. It is a good chance that Darby Allin will not get hurt at all if he loses, and he shouldn't. He's going up against CM Punk. No matter if he wins or loses, he wins out because he's going up against an indie legend in a CM Punk. There's no problem. But if you want to continue this feud between 2.0, Garcia, and Darby Allin and CM Punk, the best thing would be for them to come out, and right when you're about to get a winner, they interfere with it, and then Bryan Danielson comes out. Like I said, it's kind of hard to come out with what's going on with Bryan Danielson. I do believe it will be beforehand, but he may just come out and help an old friend in the CM Punk, and just having both of them in the ring with Darby Allin will give him even more cred because he's standing next to 2 giants in the indie wrestling scene that is still remembered from all they produce. Straight Edge and American Dragon. Next to Darby Allin. That could be a big hit. And it could also come out. You could have him come out, Bryan Danielson. He comes out, he says what he wants and goes in the back. Then you got CM Punk. They shake hands or they just fist bump. And then once the match happens and this goes down bad, he comes out from the back and then he just attacks. Because 2.0 and Garcia are attacking them. That's what I think might happen. Maybe. Okay. Last 2. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. I do believe that this has to be second to last. Even though it is the title of the company, they cannot close with it. If they close with it, it is the most stupidest thing you're going to have. And that will be the AEW Championship title match with Kenny Omega and Christian. I don't see this match closing the show. I just don't. I do believe this will be the second match of the last match of the night. It will happen. Now, because Christian has won the Impact title, I don't know if he's going to win. Honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see Christian winning because Hangman Page should be dealing with a Kenny Omega maybe at Full Gear so he can finally have his moment and they can build up into it. Because I just don't see them waiting until next year for Hangman Page to finally get a payoff. I truly believe this will be the time for Hangman Page at Full Gear. So they'll build up the match. It'll really be good because Christian can still go. Kenny can do very well. There'll probably be some type of shenanigans, but Kenny will retain and probably Hangman Page will come out and help Christian, which will start setting up for Full Gear. That's what I think is going to happen. It's not going to be a Jurassic Express. It's got to be Hangman Page so they can set up for Full Gear in the next couple of months. That's just me. You guys tell me below. And finally, the match that will end the show. MJF versus Chris Jericho. Career match. If Chris cannot beat MJF, he will go to the commentary table and that is where he will stay. At least stay until something brings him back. Now, how does this feel? Well, this is going to be very interesting, guys. This is a difficult one. For the simple reason is that it could go either way. If Chris wins, it would make sense because then he doesn't have to go to the commentary table. And I know not many people are going to want that because they're going to want to see him lose so he can go to the commentary table and see what he's going to do then. Because going to the commentary table, he could still do something and still set up dealing with MJF and anyone else. Or he can win and then we're going to find out is the Inner Circle finished or not. I just don't know. I don't. It would be obvious for him to lose. But you never know. They may swerve and they may try to make him win for this one. To be honest, he should lose. There's going to be people who's going to see him lose. I think he could still win and they can do something else with Chris Jericho. But if he wants to go and deal with Fonzie and take a break because he's been on the go for almost 2 straight years. Yes, he hasn't been traveling much because of the pandemic. But still, he's been working 2 straight years for AEW, has not taken a break. So this could be the time for him to finally take a break. That's what I'm thinking should happen. That he takes a break. He loses. He stays away for a couple of months. Then he comes back to commentary. He stays on commentary until they come up with a storyline angle to bring him back. Unless he actually is going to finally finish his in-ring career in real life. His in-ring career in real life. I don't think he will. But this is what I think about the show. Now, do I believe this is going to be a good pay-per-view? It will have some really good moments. But it's going to count on what they're going to put on the card. It's going to be very confusing to see how they're going to do this. And this is going to be a long... Do you hear me? I'm just making sure. This is going to be a long show from the buy-in, which could be 2 hours long, to near 12 at night, guys. It could be up to 11:30 to 12 when they finally end this. It's going to be a lot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That could be 5 to 6 hours worth of content. Now, easily 5 hours or more, counting on how long buy-in is. 5 or 6 hours. It's a lot of content to digest. People are going to be exhausted. I'm going to be exhausted. And I will be up here making a video, then render it, then throw it up on YouTube. It's going to count on how they're going to structure it because this is a signature pay-per-view like Bound for Glory, like WrestleMania. If they fuck this up, it's going to be ugly. So they can't fuck this up. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoyed this special preview. Please give me a comment below and tell me how you would structure the show. Leave a comment down there. Just to some of my subscribers. Some of them like to leave me novels of like 10 pages. And it's so cool that someone would be willing to leave such a long comment for me. But give me something reasonable. You're not going to do that. You're going to give me a storyline. Do what you feel is right. Like, subscribe, and share. Enjoy. Peace.